do it. Please welcome Dr. David Vieira.
Pleasure to be here to speak with you. And being one of my favorite colleagues all over there, that's a weak excuse. It's always glad to see you. When I spoke with Isaac with regards to coming here, we talked about, well, go with him, we want to know something about you. It's always easy to go out and speak about the work you do, the organization that you belong to. But when somebody says, talk about you, it's a little bit different. So I'm trying to think about what is it that I may have that might be of interest to others. So what I would like to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, and then I'm going to take a moment and give you a little bit of background of the district, and if time is permitting, I'm going to have Dr. Steve Radford talk a little bit about AB 86. So, David Vieira, who's David Vieira? My parents came here in 1950. My dad was in the Air Force. He was stationed out at Edwards Air Force Base. Recently married and got out of the service. Ended up doing various contracts with various aircraft companies. Ended up getting on civil service. Started a family. I'm one of 6. There are, interestingly enough, 3 boys, 3 girls. In fact, it was girl, boy, girl, boy. Again, I'm 4 of 6. But at one time, and thinking about getting my parents some credits, there were 5 of us, and the oldest was 7 years old. So you can imagine what type of household that brought about. Again, my dad was a gentleman. My mother probably worked harder in the house than with him over those years. Not only did she raise the 6 of us, but we always had kids at the house. She babysat, she ironed clothes, and really was an example of a hard work ethic there. So, had a wonderful childhood. I'm not sure, I saw a lot of familiar faces here. I think a few here that have been around the valley for quite a while. I grew up over in the Monte Vista area in Lancaster. Are you familiar with that area at all? Yeah. Right across from Monte Vista Elementary School. So schools have been a part of our life forever. Not only as a school, but when we grew up, that was literally our playground. Right across the street on 13th, we played there 7 days a week. During the summer, there were parks and rec that would come over and show movies. And I remember at that time, out at Antelope Valley College, there was an unbelievable basketball team. The coach was Coach Murray. My dad would take us out there and watch. And they would come out with the Harlem Globetrotters, literally, and do a show before it started. And when we would drive out there from our house, that was like going way out in the boondocks, out on the west side. And I always remember that, well, John Bacon played, went to go to USC many, many years ago, and another guy named Myron Morris, maybe, and they were the recreation directors at Monte Vista when I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old. Very impactful on Monte Vista growing up, the connection of school and family and so on. So I went to Monte Vista Elementary School, did my elementary years there, went to Parkview Intermediate School, and then from there went over to AV High School. Spent 4 years, of course, 4 years at AV, had an enjoyable high school career, very involved in athletics, was a pretty good athlete, pretty good student, okay, nothing fantastic, but pretty good. Graduated in 1975 from AV High School, but one interesting note is that 5 of the 6 of us, of the siblings, went to AV High School. One of them, the trader, one of my sisters, ended up going to Court Hill. But I think the reason at that time, of course, that high school district was always changing the boundaries. We grew up on 13th, they moved it into 10th, she had the opportunity, but I think what she really wanted to do was get away from all of her brothers. So she ended up going over to Court Hill High School. Again, going back to those days and thinking about when we grew up in that area, to what it meant to us. I can remember my mom, when we got up in the mornings, I think we didn't get TV till I was probably in the 4th grade. And there weren't the computers, of course, or the phones, so we were always out and around playing. And the only real rules that we had in the house were when the street lights come on, you come home. And then we had about a half-mile perimeter around our neighborhood. And that was on the, I guess it'd be the north was Avenue Y. On the east was 10th Street West. On the south was Lancaster Boulevard. And on the west was 15th Street West. And we could go anywhere within that area there, and there were God's kids. If you didn't have 3 to 5 kids in your family, there was something a little bit different. And we just played from sun up to sundown. Summertime was unbelievable. I remember loving the dugouts at Monte Vista and going swimming. Swimming to us was doing that or turning the sprinklers on. That was our form of entertainment. But it was a very supporting, loving environment. It's not that we had a lot, but you didn't realize it. It was a modest income, but I got hand-me-downs from my older brother. There was food on the table. There was love and encouragement within the house. It's not to say that we didn't have our challenges or our battles. We did, and those things do occur. But I think it set the foundation that really allowed us to experience and have opportunities that benefit us as well. We always tease my younger brother, who's 9 years younger than I am, that the majority of us have curly hair. My younger brother has straight hair. So when he was younger, we would say, the stork brought you, we don't know where you came from. And my mom told us, you gotta stop doing that. She believes you. So we were pretty rough on every once in a while growing up as well. From high school, went out to ABC, 2 years out there, played football out there, and finished up my junior ed. And then was fortunate enough to have a partial athletic, partial tennis scholarship at Cal State Northridge. And that's where I finished my bachelor's degrees at Cal State Northridge. Enjoyable time there. Our coach there, which I got to share, was just a neat gentleman by the name of Jack Elway. Jack Elway was the father of John Elway. At that time, John was a student at Montgomery Hills High School. Unbelievable athlete. He used to take road trips with us when we would travel. He wasn't too busy. And I'll tell you, he'd come to our practices. And as a 17-year-old young guy, he was better than anybody we had on the team throwing ball. Incredible. But a very, very good, enjoyable family as well. After, graduated, spent another year working on my teaching credential. During that time, it was interesting because I lived in an apartment complex with my roommate, and there was a gentleman that was not a gentleman, a young guy that lived down the hallway. And I see him, just kind of coming and going and having fun. What do you do? He goes, I'm a fireman. I got to work 3 days on, 2 days off, so on and so on. I said, well, I like your schedule. I think I want to try to do that. So just an interesting side note. So I applied for the LA City Fire Department, went through all the process and all those things, and was accepted, and I was supposed to start, I guess I started out at the water at that time, down at the harbor. Well, in the meantime, I get a notice to put everything on freeze. So I thought, well, what am I going to do now? So I moved back up to the Antelope Valley, took a job, or was offered a job. I just found out from Gerald Wright, just passed to this week, my understanding. Anyway, Gerald Wright was a gentleman who gave me my first job teaching at Paiute back in 1981. So I started teaching over at Paiute that first year, get a notice from the fire department back in November, December saying, hey, I'd like you to come back, but you got to start the process again. Well, if any of you gone through that process, you know it's about a year and a half. I said, I'm done. Love what I'm doing right now. So I stayed teaching, taught at Paiute for 3 years. Then in fall of 1984, September 1st, in fact, probably the best, no, not probably, the best decision I ever made, got married to a beautiful young lady that I'd been dating for 7 years. And I'm still married for 30 years. We've been married now. So we get married September 1st of 1984. September 5th of 1984, we arrived in Germany. I had applied for a job with the Department of Defense, Dependent Schools, called DOTS. And got a job. If any of you have been in the service, you may have heard of K-Town, Kaiserslautern. Anybody? Well, anyway, at that time it was in West Germany. It was right next door to Ramstein. Ramstein is USAP headquarters over there. And I taught for at the high school for military dependents. It was the largest group of Americans actually outside the U.S. at that point in time. So Todd coached for 3 years. My wife was contracting before we went over there. She was working flight ops for V1 on the base here. So spent 3 years there and just absolutely loved it. We were able to take advantage of the opportunity of traveling throughout Europe, literally having a 3-year honeymoon. We had no kids at that time. It was but after 3 years, thought, you know, I want to go ahead, and my older brother at that time was starting a master's program. They didn't have one over in the Europe division, so thought, well, you know what, I need to go back and do this. So we came back, did the master's, did it in a year, and we really thought that we were going to, at that point in time, make a career of dots, because we really enjoyed the lifestyle and doing those things. So we get offered a job to Japan, a place called Misawa. I had not been there, spoke to some folks that had been there, said it was really cold, small, so we decided, no, it's not the place for us. We were hoping to go back to Central Europe. So stay around another year. I'm working over at Parkview at that time, and then re-up the following year, got a job offer in England, a place called Stratford-upon-Avon. I forget the name of the base, just outside of that. Accepted the job, and as we were going through the processing, we were pregnant with our first child. They considered that a pre-existing condition. And because of the pre-existing condition, of course, wasn't covered. So, long story short, we said, you know what, this is our home. We've stayed, but the point is, you don't know the decisions at that point in time that you make that really have an impact on what you do. And it was incredible to think back now. And, we love what we're doing. We're glad things went the way we wanted to. But so we've stayed here ever since. So I started in the Antelope Valley Union High School District. I guess that had been in the fall of 1989 as a teacher at Desert Winds Continuation High School. Scroll forward a little bit. So this is my 35th year in education. 27 of those years have been in the high school district. I'm proud to say, I'm honored to say. As a teacher, dean of students, vice principal, assistant principal, principal, assistant student, and then for the last 13 years as superintendent of the high school district as well. So long history in the district, long history in the valley. I'll tell you, I grew up in Lancaster, but I now live in Palmville. So,
did you get in trouble with your siblings for moving over?
Sometimes we do battle. But what's interesting is that of the siblings, a lot of us, have moved out and come back. And one of them actually, my oldest sister is 62, I think, and lived her all her life and just moved to Arizona, retiring out there. So interesting. And a tidbit, that we still to this day, the first Saturday of every month, the siblings, all 6 of us, get together and visit. But it goes back to those days of that support that you have. We're blessed to still have our parents with us. My dad is 86 in January. My mom's 83. They're doing well. It's very, very blessed to be in that kind of situation. So anyway, that's a little bit about me, a little bit about my family, a little bit about where I come from, but clearly a lot about what has set my foundation of what I hope I bring to the work and to the community that I love and that I live in. So with that, I'd like to transition to the high school district and just share some of the things here.
So today, before you proceed, I have a question.
Sure.
Where did you get your PhD?
Okay, I got my master's through Azusa Pacific, and then my PhD. I was fortunate, Claremont Graduate University, I don't know if you're familiar with the 5 schools within the Claremont there. At that time, they had a program where they would share the cost with you. So myself, the other piece is that I got my master's with my older brother. My younger brother and I were able to go through Claremont Graduate University and get our PhDs together. So got that back in, I guess it would have been, got that, I think it was in 2000. technology as a young child. So a little bit of history, and you know what? I had an interesting, great conversation with Mr. Chimboli this morning. He was telling me that he saw and was part of this first bus. So I wanted to show this to you. Because this is a bus actually that was with the high school district way back in the day. Now, the district was started in 1912. First graduating class was in 1915 with 4 students. Just in comparison to today, we graduate between 4,000 and 5,000 students a year through our campuses. In 2012, AV High School, which was our first high school, celebrated its centennial celebration, is what we called it. And it was quite an event because we had all graduating classes, wherever those that could make it came to that. I think Chrissy, I think you were there. It was a very unique experience. Had people from all over the world coming back that were prior alumni of the school. It was neat. So there's a real tradition, real history with the high school district. A little bit of background on it. I knew we were in the top 10, but the latest information I have is that we're the 6th largest employer in the AG. We have just under 1,000 teachers, just under 1,000 support staff, 100 administrators, and approximately 500 volunteers. So, in a nutshell, we have about 2,500 employees that work within the district as well. Size, geographically, you guys know about it. You know how widespread it is. From our attendance area, we are about 12 to 1,300 square miles. And if we move to this next slide, it gives you a little better picture of what that is. Now, that top right there, that's Kern County, there. Over to the right, which would be the eastern border, is the San Bernardino County line. Bottom would be the southern portion, which is San Diego. And over here on the left-hand side is the Ventura County. So you can see how large, geographically speaking, the high school district is. And then in here is all of our schools. We have schools, of course, throughout the area. Just to kind of give you another idea of the state, Rhode Island, and placed into the attendance boundaries of the high school district, this is what you get. Wow. Kind of puts it in perspective. Yeah. And that's why you can see back in 1912, when there were 13 elementary districts that actually came together and unionized and came to serve one high school. It was the only high school between Bakersfield and San Fernando back in the early 1900s. Now a little bit about the schools and some of the programs we have. We're approximately 25,000 students, that's including our adult ed population. We have 8 comprehensive high schools. When I went to high school back in the early 70s, it was A.D. Palmdale and Courtsville. Now you've got A.D. Palmdale, Courtsville, Highland, Little Rock, Eastside, Lancaster, Knight. Missing one? I think that's it. You got 8 comprehensives, and when I say comprehensives, those are the large schools. Those are the 9 through 12 schools. We also have 4 continuation high schools. We have Jesuit Wings High School, RX Paris High School. We have Phoenix North and the Phoenix South, as well for the alternative programs. We have our early college high school, which is SOAR, which stands for Students on Academic Routes. It's at AGC's campuses where students can actually receive their high school diploma and their AA degree within the 4-year program. We have a number of CTE, or career spectrum education offerings and pathways within our 6th partnership academy within our schools, which I'll share with you more later. We have a linked learning pilot district, and really what that means is there's a concerted effort on the part of the state and high schools to ensure that their students are college and career ready. And we put an effort towards trying to connect those students, our students, with the businesses out in the community as well, whether it be job shadowing, internships, summer hire, whatever it may be, to show that real world application. We have 7th and 8th graders just as recent as 2 years It includes our Sword Prep Academy, which is behind just west of Fort Sill, in our Night Prep Academy, which we're looking to open in fall of 15 to feed into our DD&E, which is Digital Design and Engineering Academy. And of course, our AD Adult Ed, and as Dr. Rathman mentioned, 86 regional consortiums that we're looking at as well. And then just briefly some of our STEM-focused career academies, in STEM being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And this is just highlighting just a couple of things. We have the Green Enterprise Academy at AD High School, which is for engineering and business. We have the Law and Government Academy at Private High School, which prepares those students for governmental work, criminal justice. The Digital Design and Engineering Academy at Night High School, you may have read recently in the paper, we had 6 students that actually competed over in Australia with their unmanned aerial vehicle. They actually placed 3rd in the world in the international competition for the male and the female. And that was the D, we call it DD&E Academy. We have been fortunate to have engineers from Lockheed, Northrop that do come in, mentor, work with our kids on their own free time. That really helps them in doing these things. Little Rock, we have the Ag and Environmental Science. A lot of you have probably heard about our nationally acclaimed Health Careers Academy at Palmdale High School. Been in place probably close to 3 decades now. Mike and Sandy Hamlin, many years back, started that program where students have the opportunity to work in medical offices, work at hospitals, work in the billing, and really get a feel of, we're taking the education piece, combining it with the workplace piece, and what that means, and getting set for that workplace once you get out of school, whether that be high school or college. And then we have our FAST program, which is the Falcon Academy of Sustainable Technology at Palmdale High School as well. Engineering, auto construction, you may have read recently as well with regards to their solar car project that's coming up. They're going to be competing in Texas, and they're developing a solar car, so we'll be taking that with them as well, with the help and nurturing of some of the engineers that help. So our mission statement, I'm going to kind of end it here. We're about providing a safe and secure environment. We're about providing the rigor and the support so kids can have that when they're in high school. For the 21st century skills, meaning what they're learning now is something that they're going to take with them when they graduate from high school. That means something. That makes that tie. That makes that connection. And now when they graduate from the school, they have options. You want to have options to take a look at. If I want to go to post-secondary education, I can go. If I want to go in the armed services, I can go. If I want to go to the workforce, I can go. Not just coming out being pigeonholed that I got to go this direction. But they have options once they come out with those skills that will help you get there. So with that tells you a little bit about me, tells you a little bit about the district in itself. I'm going to let Steve, if you want to take a quick minute, talk about AB 86, and then open it up for questions and
Again, appreciate that, Dave. Steve Radford. When I introduced myself earlier, I don't know if I got nervous or if I just forgot it, but I told you the wrong title. I was thinking of something else and I said it. I'm like, oh, that's not my title. Nobody knows. But I'm actually the Regional Director of Career and College Prep and Adult Education. Not CT. I do oversee CT, but either way, that really has nothing to do with what I'm about to talk to you about. Put that out there. So, and I am a Palmdale High grad and run up to the district a consortium in partnership with Antelope Valley College, and it was with all of the high school districts in the area. So Southern Kern Unified is also a part of our consortium. And basically what we're going to do, and I'm not going to go through the whole presentation because it's kind of long, but basically we are looking at the needs of adult education in the Antelope Valley. So what are we currently doing? What should we be doing? Where are the gaps that we're missing? And how do we fill those gaps? And so So I will go over just a couple of the slides, just so you kind of know what we're doing and then why we're inviting you to come help us. Basically, again, I said it's I may not have mentioned, it's a 2-year planning period. We're just starting the 2nd year of that, so we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty here of getting a true plan for adult education. There are 72 other college districts doing this same project that we are all over the state. So again, this is a statewide effort to revamp adult education. However, it is regional because what they want us to do is look at what do you, as the Antelope Valley, you have your own needs, you have your own issues and problems and all these things. So bring those to the table, but they're going to do that from every area and try to get a system that works. So our region, the way it's broken up and the reason for it is we are within Antelope Valley College's boundaries. Our membership of the consortium would be any community college and any high school district in those boundaries. So right now, again, it's us, Southern Kern, and the college. And then partners, that's kind of where you guys could potentially come in, is we are trying to get community members and organizations that are working with adults in the community to come partner with us and basically say, hey, you are often the experts. What's going on out in the real world that we're missing? We're offering certain services. We think those are pretty good, but we know they're not reaching everything. So how do we do that? So that's kind of where we're at. There are 5 areas that you do need to be aware of. These are the 5. There's more to life than this, but these are the 5 areas we're really focusing on, and that's elementary and basic skills. So getting your GED, getting your diploma, getting those type of skills. There's classes for immigrants, learning English, getting citizenship, things of that nature. Programs for adults with disabilities, short-term career technical education. So how do you get someone in and get them a certificate so that they can go out and get employment? And then a new one, I mean, we've all heard of apprenticeships, but that's new to the education world, where we're going to actually try to partner with businesses to get people apprenticeships that they can learn and get the skills that they need to be successful in the workplace, actually in the workplace, and through education at the same time. So kind of a neat part there. So again, basically, we just want to be very open and honest, and we want to look at ourselves as a valley and say, here's the good, here's the bad. How do we mix it together? What do we do? Again, our planning process is basically that we're not necessarily writing a true grant in the way it's often called the AB 86 grant, but it's not a grant like we're asking for a set dollar amount. We're saying this is what it's going to take to educate the adults in our valley. This is what we think we need to do, and here's the price tag that's associated